Evening all, welcome to a new concept. This is the Halo jump. We've spoken about it a few times. People have asked me about it, have said, Pyrex, what's up with that? So here we go, this is it. It is it's just a dropship with two guns. You need that for the extra people. I'm using an assault dropship in this case, but you could use anything. I think the assault dropship was just the maneuverability. But this is the concept. Enjoy, observe, good fellow murky boy. What you do is you go to the sky box and then you try and pretty much get above the point, and then you just literally drop your guys. You just say jump now. Now they have a degree, not a great degree, but they do have some degree of steering as they drop. So as you can see there, they've actually landed quite nicely on that building right next to the supply depot. This was just a terrible map. We were losing. It was only really us playing, to be honest with you, and we were getting stomped. Face stomped. So we decided to try some little unorthodox tactics, and this is the first one we did. I mean, Halo jumping, is it Halo high altitude low opening? Yeah, I guess it is, because you jump out at the top of the map and then you don't hit your inertia dampener until the last minute. So let's just assume it's Halo, all right? But basically, so here we go, fast forward again, and we're about to do exactly the same tactic, and this time I'll show you a little bit more how we do it. So this time, look at the accuracy that they can drop on A. They have actually, I said, go for A, see how well you can get on A. And as I zoom in, look at that, I'm seeing them drop. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Look at that, all of them landed absolutely smack bang on A, even on top of the node cannon. So, you know, this isn't a bad tactic. Fast forward again. So here we go, we're just trying to line up. I'm using the map, so I'm saying, right, you know, left a bit, right a bit, go, go, go. And then all they do is they jump. And it really gives them quite a moderate ability of, I guess, steering. But again, not huge amounts. So if you imagine, you can maybe go 5–10% left or right. But again, look at that, perfect. So one landed on the point, the other two guys landed at our side of the bridge. It's such a shame that spawn pads are so plentiful and that CCP hate dropships so much, and the community as a whole hate dropships so much. If people saw this tactic for dropships being used, I think they'd like it. Sad times. Anyway, so on this one, we've then tried a different tactic here. So we're going to maybe do a kind of combat drop. So I do a bit of the corkscrew maneuver, and we just see if we can actually drop the guys any closer. Not really, unfortunately. And that puts the dropship in quite a bit dangerous. So this was just variances of the tactic, and in this case, it didn't quite work. But what we do is we actually put a clone bay on the dropship, so actually this becomes something we can use pretty much continually as well. So that's obviously quite a nice feature as well. So here we go, fast forward again. So here we go, the guys jump, and in this case we're trying to obviously get them right onto the building by the supply depot. So I'm just going to zoom in, look at that, I can actually follow them dropping in the map. Isn't that awesome? And as you can see, they all landed on the building. Boosh, lovely. Okay, admittedly very hostile, maybe obviously was a little bit too much of a stronghold, but not many enemies look up. I mean, that's the beauty of this game, is that, you know, I mean, let's face it, once CCP finally nerf dropships to the point where they can never be used again, because obviously some people have an invested agenda to destroy dropships, then effectively what will happen is that this tactic will be probably the last use of dropships, and even then it's not a great tactic. It doesn't work all the time. As you can see there, look at that, we spread a little bit too wide in that case. So I think it's kind of sad in a way that in reality this this could have been one of the key tactics, like PlanetSide. This is exactly what you do in PlanetSide with the Galaxy. But in this game, because of spawn pads, dropships just were used for offensive duties, and that was always a shame to me, massive shame to me. There was never, the maps were never big enough, there was never really any need to use dropships, so I think that's sad in a way. I can't believe that, you know, there's just such an anti-dropship agenda going on at the moment. If CCP just woke up one day and realised that actually vehicles are the one thing that give this game character, so if you get rid of the vehicles, you literally have just got a modded Half-Life 2 style game mod left. There's nothing else to ingratiate this game to anybody that even gives it the whiff of quality. It just is pretty much a lobby shooter of the worst kind. So there we go, look at that. It's me doing it just to show you how it works, and I think that's pretty much our Halo jumps done. So as you can see, dropships, I think, just generally that are in a bit of a dodgy place at the moment, I think. Let me just kind of reference this, because with the buff to swarms, dropships are pretty much continually beaten away from the point now. So whenever you see a dropship, just get a swarm launcher out, start firing at it, and because of the lock-on nature of that gun and the fire and forget style, it doesn't need any skill to use. I mean, usually the people who are using them have got 0 skills, because that's actually the power of that gun, is it's just for a newbie to shoot down something. Forge guns are a different thing. I think forge guns are in a good place at the moment. I think forge guns are terrifying to me as a dropshipper. And also, if I'm running a forge gun, I feel as if I've got a good chance. It feels 50-50 pretty much. A forge gunner versus a dropshipper, I would pretty much say that feels currently like a 50-50 battle, where you have a proto forge gun, etc. And they're talking about kind of buffing swarms even more, which I think was including a speed up to lock-on time, things like that, which, you know, again, I honestly don't think it needs. I think if you do that, you are then at risk of completely alienating dropshipping as a thing. And let's face it, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Dropships are what gives this game character and difference and an identity. If you remove dropships, the suits, the guns are not enough of an identity to actually give this game any feeling at all that's got anything to do with EVE Online. Dropships literally are that most sacred link between Dust and EVE. And to get to the point where you could almost say, you know, people are just not going to run dropships anymore is, well, I think it's terrible. I think that's absolutely terrible. And I really hope that never happens. Yes, they're annoying. Yes, they have some really questionable tactics behind them. But the fact is that that's the option. That's the range of options that you have. I can never understand why CCP seem to want to limit, reduce, and downscope everything within their game. Just because some people use it as an overpowered fit, fair enough. Moderate that use. Don't moderate the whole thing. It's like people use shotgun scouts. You know, that's an annoying tactic. It's a powerful tactic. It's slightly annoying. You know, address both those two combinations. Don't make the scouts and the shotgun separately weaker, because that's stupid. Do you see what I mean? This inability to actually manage their game properly is frustrating now. So, you know, for example, the scrambler rifle. People are talking about scrambler rifle is OP. You never see anyone run it. I played probably 10, 15 games a day. And I tell you what, I never see the scrambler rifle. So who on earth is saying it's overpowered? It just quite honestly is not. Yes, it's a good gun, but so is the combat rifle. We don't hear the message about the combat rifle because people don't want it nerfed, because that's where modded controllers are being used. If you use a modded controller, you're using the combat rifle. So naturally, there's a desire not to make any noise about that. CCP, please understand you are being manipulated by a very small group of people to the benefit of themselves. There's nothing wrong with the scrambler rifle. Leave it alone. Because that was because it was a good shot. I think there's so many things that in this game that I just really question. I don't understand why they do certain things. Like, why did they change the shields in this hotfix Charlie? Why did they screw over Caldari suits so much by making the shields so less effective? These are just the obvious things. So, you know, if people are saying the fit of the month is X, Y, and Z, then fair enough. Address the use of the whole holistic range of things. Is it, for example, so, you know, if you run a scout suit with speed mods and a cloak and a shotgun, fine, make it so you can't run speed mods and a cloak maybe, or speed mods and a shotgun. You know, this is the kind of logic. I just don't think they see the big picture. They'll run a database report that will say, oh my god, 20,000 people used the scrambler rifle yesterday, therefore it needs to be nerfed. And people will look at that and go, all right, let's nerf it. And it's like, no, you don't understand. That's fine, because, you know, 100,000 people use the heavy machine gun and the heavy. And that is literally fit of the month right now. If you want to win in this game, run a heavy suit with a massive tank and run a heavy machine gun, doesn't matter which, they're all good. And you will just destroy stuff, because there's not much that can actually take on that suit. So in Kestis summary, my kind of issue with this whole thing is I just can't believe that there's so many fits and tactics out there that when people use them and start to see them, they nerf them and they change them. And it's almost as if, wow, why on earth would you do that? What is the purpose of nerfing something that actually is fun and useful and good and not overpowered. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, someone like Judge, who uses a dropship all the time, is very good in it. So if he kills you over and over, it's not that the dropship is overpowered. It's because he spent years learning how to use the bloody thing. I'm the same with things like the scout suit and the flaylock. People, I mean, I get people say the flaylock's OP. I kid you not, because they think that, you know, because I'm good with it, therefore that means, and it can't be that I just beat them. It can't be that I'm better than them. That pissed them off. So therefore that, you know, that became a thing to say, nerf this, nerf that. I don't generally have an issue with many things in this game that require wholesale buffing, nerfing nonsense anyway. I just think, let's just look at things holistically. Let's look at things from a very high level and say, okay, what are the actual issues here? Because otherwise you're going to end up with so many instances where dropships, in literally, you could make one little change to something and then the dropship dies. Nobody can use it anymore. It becomes completely dead. It's just completely pointless. The Scout LAV, ring a bell to anyone there? Because they never did, it was just never right. It was always weak. It was a pointless thing. That is the risk that we run with the dropship and swarms and that whole use. It is unbelievable that CCP continue to meddle and not fix. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.